how can we support existing or new street markets that provide opportunities for people to access affordable fresh food? And whether or not there's any other comments anyone wants to make about street markets at this point. This is the one question we have about it. So, certainly,
Matthew Bennett from the Soho Society. In the case of Berwick Street, using that as an example, I think that market has declined over the years simply because there's the growth of, Tesco Metro is an obvious example, but lots of supermarkets that provide very good basic food and veg. And what the markets where people drag their stalls to the market and drag them away again are not able to provide is very good facilities in terms of things like specialty meats, fish, cheeses and so on, simply because of being able to keep them fresh and so on. And I think that if you want people to be able to get something of a wider range than just sort of lettuces and carrots and potatoes, which anyway they can get from Summerfields or Tesco's or wherever, in a way the quality of the stalls and their refrigeration and perhaps maybe even their permanence, perhaps that they don't need to be taken away every night and brought back every night. I'm struck that if you go to continental cities, the quality of markets is much higher and the quality of the food produce is much higher. And that's often to do with the quality of the refrigeration and the quality of the stall itself. And I think that real thought needs to go into that if markets are to be able to compete with the way in which supermarkets are now retailing fruit and veg.
Okay, thank you.
I would agree with that. I would also want to say that good upbeat signage is really important because half the time you don't know that there's a market there.
Okay, thank you.
Hello, Peter Ball, the Crown Estate. The policy on markets has also got a reference to individual street traders. I think there is a fear that I think quite a lot of us would support street markets, but individual street traders, the sort that we get in Oxford Street and Regent Street, are not the same thing at all and shouldn't be regarded as a good thing.
Okay, thank you. Yes.
Sorry, I'm Liz Frimston, I should have said, from the Victoria Interchange Group, although I'm going to speak in terms of being chairman of the Cathedral Area Residents Group just now. In fact, in Tatchbrook Street, we do have a small market which has struggled from time to time. And contrary to what you've just said, we have a fish stall there that does actually supply to specific communities locally, particularly the Portuguese, who eat a different range of fish to that you can find in supermarkets. So we sort of have a kind of specialist tiny market. I think what it suffers from is a lack of assistance with things like refrigeration, access to running water, the infrastructure that you need, okay? And I think, just as another comment, a lot of the continental street markets you're talking to, of course, are in close proximity to sources of food. London markets are not. They have to purchase from the major markets like Smithfield, etc., etc. So it's a slightly different setup. But I think basic things like that, as well as actually not harassing some of the stall mongers by petty rules from the council, rather helping them, would help them to survive. They want to survive.
Okay, thank you. Yes.
Margot Bright, Westbourne Park Villas, which is Bayswater. I probably shouldn't be mentioning a neighbouring borough, but I will, because a lot of people really value the Portobello Market and indeed the Farmers Market on Notting Hill Gate, neither of which have hot and cold running refrigeration, water, etc., but which both bring in a lot of restaurants, supply from there, a lot of specialist communities, as was mentioned earlier, and they manage very well.
Okay, thank you. Yes, the gentleman.
I think while we're talking about other boroughs, K&C have got quite a successful market. They've started in Bute Street, so you might ask them what their experience has been there.
Yeah.
Simon Burkett again, sorry.
Okay, thank you.